Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, however you're viewing this. So, to answer your question, how do I keep up with evidence? Well, there's a couple of ways I do it. I want to bring you to I'll do the first one, which is my Twitter, page. I follow lots of different people to keep up on the evidence, and this is just an example that I've pulled up. I follow a group like Physio Meets Science, right? And what do? They post research articles that one can use, that you can get access to, that you can just pull off. Usually they're first to post the most current things. It's probably part of the early publish. I don't always like early publish, but you can see that, like, if I wanted to get this article, I could just click on that link and it would bring me to it. I don't know if you are a fan of Twitter, but I will tell you that's one of the ways that I follow a lot of different authors. A lot of authors post their own stuff. Even if you go up to, like, for example, Physio Meets Science, here we have followed by Josh Cleland, Pain Revolution, and 76 others. And you could simply click on that and you could go and start following. Like, you can see I'm following all these people: Josh Cleland, Toby Hall, Deborah Falla, who else? Chris Wordsfold, and Jeremy Lewis, and Michael Coptiers, who did a lot of the upper limb stuff. Chad Cook, Peter O'Sullivan. These are just big people. Chris Littlewood, big people in our profession. Payne Ed. I think that's Niels. I forgot Niels' last name. Lots of people in our world. And so they're all posting literature for us to follow. So Twitter is one of the things that I use. Next thing that I use, Google Scholar. I don't use Google Scholar as much. I use PubMed more. But for those who maybe PubMed, you don't like this, but you like Google Scholar, I did a search here looking up physical therapy and low back pain, and obviously you have, it's 2,250,000 hits. Once you feel like you've got a good handle on the current literature, maybe, for example, after taking the lower extremity course, maybe you've got a good handle on ACLs and physical therapy. So then you can create an alert, like so, that will basically every month do this search and send it to your email. And you can pick how many results you want to see, right? But it'll be the most current topic, right? You can have that be up 10 to 20, create an alert. And so what happens? Those will be emailed to you every month. I think you can even decide how often it sends them to you. Anyways, like I said, I don't use this, but certainly could be something that you could use if you wanted to. Another way to stay current about current literature. The way that the thing that I do is I use PubMed. And PubMed, here's an example of a search. And I have a free account. Here's my user login. And here is, let's go back. Sorry. Let's go to here, to my NCBI, right? And that's where all of my searches are stored. So you can see, like, for example, let's manage saved searches. So, speaking of Deb Falla, there I have her as an author. I have an author, Tasha Stanton. I have a search on blood flow restricted training. I have Julie Fritz. I have Josh Cleland. I have Katsu training, which is, again, blood flow restricted training, just another name. Paul Minkin, Joel Bialoski, down in Florida, he's an author. Mindfulness and Pain, Linda Woodhouse, she's an author in Canada and Alberta. Dry needling and physical therapy, consultation. I'm not quite sure what this is. Empathy, more about empathy. Gwendolyn Joel, Trelevin, post-concussion syndrome, BPPV, right? I've got all these pushes, and what happens? Well, I get them monthly sent to me. I just got them because it's the beginning of the month. And so then what does that look like? Let's go ahead. It looks like this. So this is one of my pushes that I just got Deb Falla tonight. And it sends me the top 4 articles, and I can then go and click on the link, and I can read the abstract. Now, this is where things get a little bit tricky. Now, this is an EPUB, so it gets a little bit harder. I'm not a fan of EPUB. It's harder to find the articles. But if I wanted to find this and it was free, obviously it would be over here like you so encountered. I do go to the U of M library, University of Minnesota library. That's where I get most of my research. So if it's not free, it gets a little bit tricky. But I guess what I really want to impart upon you is that you can create alerts about certain topics that you'd like to have searched, whether it be in Google Scholar or in PubMed. You can create your own account. These are all free, and these basically send these articles to you. So if you have topics, if you have authors, and then what I do, I use this free program called Zotero, which is this icon right here, that is either web-based or it can be or you can download the app. And it's both for PC and Mac. And it's, like I said, it's free. It's out of the University of Wisconsin at Madison. And this is where I store my articles. And I can put an article in. Let me just show you this. There. I can put an article in. Now, these articles, so this is what I would do. I put the article in one of these categories. I do a right click, and I can say retrieve metadata for PDF. And so then it goes and finds, and so these few that I have, believe it, I know this may look like a lot, but these are more non-research based articles that I have, and some of them are presentations that I've gotten. And I know this may look like a lot, but really it's hardly anything. If we were to, so this is where then I have the authors, and then I can search these, all of these, or I can go into the particular, like Achilles tendinosis. Like some of this is, like these are appendix, not even articles. But if I wanted an article, then I've got this. I can pull that article. I can pull this into a Word doc, and it gives me the citation, so it automatically cites it for me. It's very handy. So that's how I store the articles. This is how I search for articles, whether it be Twitter, whether it be PubMed, or just in general conversations. I'm always pulling articles, and you guys provide me with new research all the time. So these are just some examples of how I keep up to date on the most current literature in our profession. And I don't go searching nearly as much anymore, although I do enough teaching that different CE courses, every once in a while I have to go back and do just a general search to find some specific things. But a lot of these searches cover what I'm looking for and what I need. Hopefully that answers your question and provides you with an easy way to continue to build your library of articles. And like I said, Zotero, if you were to just go to their website, Zotero, and you could either use their, you can set up a free login, or you can, like I said, download your own app and then store it. They offer this free certain small amount of storage. I do not pay for storage. I store it on my computer. So hopefully that answers any questions that you have. Obviously, feel free to follow up with more questions if the video isn't clear. But hopefully that does get you started.